This quiet English village may be paving the way towards net zero for Britain. In Swaffham Prior, a vast heat pump generates enough warmth to supply houses throughout the village. And it's the first of its kind in rural England.
We can connect up to 300 properties in Swaffham Prior, and that will be the entire village running on net zero carbon heat.
Britain is falling behind its net zero targets. If it is to hit its targets by 2050, it'll need to decarbonise more than 28 million homes. This is a major challenge, as 85% of the country relies on a gas network, which is much cheaper than electricity used by individual heat pumps. But this vast heat pump, connected to many houses, shows one way to fund the transition when household finances are tight. And residents are feeling the positive effects in multiple ways.
Every morning when I make a cup of coffee, it makes me smile that there's not a plume of oil fumes that I can see out the back. Yeah, it's warm, it runs hot actually, so we keep having to turn it down.
The UK has an annual target of 600,000 heat pump installations by 2028, but it's expected to flatline at around 55,000 this year. The initial costs for installation can also put people off. That's where the government comes in. For Swaffham Prior, the $15 million installation cost was covered by an over $3.7 million government grant and a loan which will be repaid by households over 60 years. The village found that a large heat pump network would be more efficient than individual heat pumps. And the community approach and lack of upfront payment meant residents were also more willing to sign up. Thomas Nowak is the European Heat Pump Association Secretary General.
This is the most efficient way of heating a building. So it will save you energy. You kicked out the old, inefficient, often fossil burning stuff. You put in something new, which is innovative and using electricity and using green electricity in the future. So it can become even more green and positive for the environment.
But will Swaffham Prior's new scheme take off? Britain's Heat Pump Association says demand for projects like Swaffham Prior will only take off if the government uses its taxes and levies system to lower the cost of electricity. Those behind the project also say it will not work for all communities, rural or urban, but it shows how costs of the energy transition can be made more manageable.